Hi everyone, this is David Eddy providing you with a short screencast just to illustrate how you can start and populate the Webfolio template with text and link supporting resources, information and evidence and so on. This will be particularly useful for those of you who are actually on the IGRT module, but also for those of you that are considering transitioning from the IGRT Shook to the module as well. But even for those of you who are just participating on the IGRT Shook, this will be useful as well, because this will show you how you can start and evidence your engagement in the Shook, and you can then think about using that for evidencing CPD for professional and statutory body requirements. Okay, so here I'm at the login page, and first of all, just in case you haven't already accessed or had a look at the Webfolio template yet, the easiest way to get a hold of it is to click on this icon here, the blue icon for Atlas, which takes you straight through to the IGRT workspace there. If I click on the workspace and then go to resources, scroll down just beyond the workbooks, and there you can see the IGRT portfolio template. And if you click on copy, that copies that to your asset store, and then you've got a version of it that's your own and is customizable and personalizable, and you can do what you like with it. Okay, so that's where you would go to access this. Now once you've copied it, this portfolio template goes to your resource store. So here, for example, there's the portfolio template in my asset store. Sorry, rather than the resource store, it goes into your asset store. And if I click on that now, you'll see this opens up, and you'll see how this displays is very similar to what you see with the workbooks. We have a title page here, and then different pages, in this case, each associated with a different learning outcome. And this is what I'll work through and show you how we can populate it during the course of the screencast. The buttons at the top we'll work through as we go through. So here we are on the title page. If I just scroll down, here you can see I've already inserted a text box and put my name and number in, etc. So if you were a student on the module, for example, this would be your SHU number that you would put in there. So you can annotate that text box, and then underneath there's some information and explanatory text from Rob that you can have a look at your leisure. So what I propose to do is focus on the Learning Outcome 1 page, because this is the page that's associated with the first activity or online task, and show you how we can start and build up a narrative and link supporting information and resources. So if I just scroll down here, you'll see again some introductory information from Rob, and there's an image there at the bottom. Now that's the bottom of the page at the moment, and what I want to do is actually add some content. So add content button here. This gives us a range of different options. What we're going to do is we're going to add a text box. So I just click on text, and you can see there a text box has been inserted below the image there. So if I just click in there now, and if I just quickly type something in, this is going to be random, but obviously what you're going to enter is going to be meaningful and significant, and then you're going to link supporting information and evidence to it to enhance what you've put in there. So this is just some random text I've highlighted here. First thing I notice is actually when I look at it, it looks a little bit faint. I'd like to make that a bit darker, so if I highlight it, it brings up this secondary toolbar where you can change the font, the size, the colour, etc. And I want that just to be a bit darker, so I'll click on the black. You can also go bold and italic, etc. So I've got the text there that I want to be working with. Next stage then is to think about if this was a meaningful phrase or word, for example, where I wanted to link some supporting information or resources. In exactly the same way, highlight the text that you want to link it to, click on link, and here you've got a number of options. You can either link to an asset in your asset store, link to a website, or link an email address. So if we go to link asset first of all, that takes me to my asset store. And in this instance, I want to link to an asset that is already in there. So I'll go to this asset here, click on that. And you can see here it's changed colour and it's underlined, which tells me there's a link there and it's become active. If I click on it, I won't see anything because at the moment I'm in edit mode, but if I want to view it, I go to preview, and then you can click on the link and that will show you that it's working. Now, because you won't have used your asset store really for creating and developing assets at this stage, what you can do is, if you've got supporting and information and resources and evidence that you have on your computer or device that's outside of PebblePad, you can also go and retrieve that. So if I highlight this next word here, click on link and click on asset, instead of an asset from my asset store, if I go here, I can go directly to upload, and that gives me some browser capabilities. I can either drag a file in here or I can choose a file. So if I click on choose a file, this brings me to my desktop at work here. Let's have a look at one. Let's say that's the file I want. If I click on there, click on open, and you can see it's already loaded it there for me, which is great. You can change the title if you want to at that point, and then just click save. And you can see there that's become active as well. So the asset doesn't have to be in your asset store. You can go find it through the upload feature and link it directly, and then it automatically goes into your asset store as well as linking into the text. The other option you have here is to highlight that and link to a URL or website. So it may be that in this instance, what I'm actually looking for is to link to a website as a supporting resource, etc. So if I just type one in, that one there, you can copy and paste in from your browser, anything like that. If you use the Control-C for copy and Control-V for paste, you can copy and paste a website in, or if you know it, you can just type it in. If I click on OK, again you can see that's become active there as well. In exactly the same way, if this was something where I was sharing something, for example, with a prospective employer, and I wanted to provide my email address, I could actually link email, and in exactly the same way, type in my email address, check OK, and there, that's actually linked. Okay, now if we just quickly go to preview, I'll show you how that's all working. Okay, so in preview, if we just scroll down, this was the link to the first asset that I linked, which is there. And this illustrates one of the things that I would suggest to you about linking of assets, that kind of thing. If you have information that's available in a Word document format, for example, it may be better presentationally to actually copy and paste it into a text box rather than link it as an asset, because then you've got to click on the link and then click on the asset itself to open it. Okay, so that's just something to bear in mind. The second one was the one we uploaded, which has become an asset in my asset store, so that's there. The third one was the link to the website, and that's going through to the PebblePad website. And then this one was a link to my email address. I won't click on it because it'll open up the email and it takes a little while to open and close, but that functionality does work. Okay, so this is preview mode, so this is where you're having a look at what this appears like. To go back to edit, we just click on edit there. And at this point we can do anything we like with it really. If, for example, this section of text is not in the right place, you can use these toggle arrows here and simply move the position of it. So it may be that I want to move that to there on the page. This could be full of evidence loaded with all sorts of stuff, and you could still do that. What you can also do is add different types of content. So for example, I might want to add an image. So it pops another box there. If I open my asset store, what it does is it automatically takes me to images I have in my asset store. But in exactly the same way, if the image I want isn't there, I can just go to upload, choose a file, and let's go to that one there. And you'll recognise that as the answer garden from the end of week 1. I click on save. That automatically pops the image in there, and you can see I've got this functionality here where I can increase or decrease the size of the image as well. So you can do that. That allows you to add images. Add content also allows you to add video, audio files, YouTube clips. You can put in quotes, etc. I won't show you all of that because otherwise the screencast would take far too long. But once you've done what you need to do, then simply go to save and save your asset. And then for those of you that are on the module and are going to be submitting this for feedback and so on, what I will show you then is what you would need to do next. So if I go to, I want to share, and I want to share this for assessment, this is the only workspace that's available to me at the minute. It's saying I can share it if I want to. I want to share the following asset. Can I share? And yes, I do. So that's definitely the one I want to do. That just gives me some additional information there. Now what you have to do in order to share it is you have to click on this additional information and check this usage statement, because this is where at the moment that asset is personal and private. Nobody else can see it unless you give them permission to do so, or you share it to a workspace, which is what I wanted to do. So here I've got to check this box to agree to the terms of usage that other people are going to be able to see it and feedback on it, etc. And then I click on share for assessment, and that tells me that it's been shared. I can also check that by going to Atlas, again into the IGRT workspace, and if I click on submissions, there you go, I can see that the portfolio template has actually gone in there, which is great. When you go to submissions you won't see anybody else's, it's just I have tutor privileges so I can see the other ones that are there, but you'll be able to see your own submission in there. Okay, so I hope you found that useful. Obviously, if you've got any queries or questions, post them in the usual place in the workspace. But otherwise, don't be afraid of it. Play with it. Use the help menu if you get stuck. This is down here, and there's a lot of useful top tips and hints in there. But otherwise, I hope you continue to go on and enjoy the course. Thank you very much.